Happy New Year or Happy New Year's Eve. This is Shelly Bolera, and I thought I would come up and or come out and just do the last chapter, not the last chapter, but chapter 3 of my book. I haven't been feeling well, so I've been resting, but it got a little restless, and I just thought, well, let me come out and read chapter 3 of my book. But nobody's really, not a lot of people are looking at the videos. But I do have 14 subscribers. And I know before when I was talking about my subscribers, I didn't appreciate, like, I appreciate the subscribers that I have because you could be doing anything in the world, but you subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate you. I didn't want to seem ungrateful because even if I'm glad that you are um, here with me and going through the book with me, whoever, because I can't see them. They're private. And nobody's pressing the like button or leaving comments. I mean, how am I supposed to know what you think about the book so far? Anyway, whatever. This is gonna be short because um I gotta cook. I'm cooking some fried chicken, scalloped potatoes, and mashed potatoes for my daughter because she don't like cheese. And I made some. I'm making some black eyed peas with collard greens mixed because I saw it on the cooking show I was looking at. So I wanted to try it. What else am I making? Oh, I love tomatoes and onions with mayonnaise. That's really good. People aren't really hip to that, but it's good too. So I'm cooking, and I was supposed to go over to my mother's house to, she's having a New Year's Eve party. I got off work for 3 days, but she didn't want us to come because we're sick. I'm not really sick anymore. I just have residue of like, little congestion, but I was sick last a couple of days ago. Ooh, it was so hard getting through my job. My job is very strenuous and very physical, and ah, it was hard. But I have I was off yesterday, and I'm going to be off today, tomorrow, and the next day. So I'm going to relax and try to rejuvenate. I got my daughter sick. My daughter's sick now. My son was sick and he gave it to me, and then we gave it to my daughter. But uh, my daughter don't play about me. When I was sick, she was like, "Oh, we got to go get some medicine. We got to do that." I mean, my son is cool. He got my back, but my daughter got my front and my back. But so I got to take care of her because she take care of me. I love her. I love both my kids. I really enjoyed them. I mean, family is so important. I mean, your children, my children are the best thing that ever happened to me. I swear to God. They changed me too. But anyway, I wonder what you're doing for New Year's. Probably are going to go to a party or hang out with some friends or whatever. Or if you just sit at home and Netflix and chill. I mean, come on. Sometimes when you get old, like I'm 54 years old, I've lived my life. I got more years behind me than I have ahead of me. So life is too short. Sometimes you don't want to go to a party. You just feel good laying in your bed and looking at a movie or something. I've been looking at YouTube a lot trying to study, YouTube and see things that I can do, and I have a couple of ideas. Well, anyway, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to read chapter 3 on this good New Year's Eve. And the last chapter, let me just do a recap. Of course, I, Onyx bumped into Stephanie and Leon, and she was all disheveled and everything like that. And so, she's a little embarrassed about that. It's easy to be embarrassed when you bump into your ex and his new woman. So anyway, I'll start. Chapter 3. Day broke and day broke and I was glad it was Saturday. I was finished with the crying. I leaned up against the wall as I reluctantly found a mirror. My God. Was my mascara down my face like this last night too? Great. I could not understand why it hurt me so much to see those two together. Last night was the first time I cried since our breakup. I hated Leon. He was not my friend and he did not love me. What the hell was I thinking? True love. I must have hit my head. This crap hurts. If it was not for me, he would still be singing in a dive on the east side. I walked over to my desk and picked up the phone to call Julie. I let the phone ring once as Julie quickly answered. Dog, are you sitting with the phone to your ear? I asked Julie. Girl, you would not believe that I was just getting ready to call you. You were on my mind. I need you, I said to Julie, remembering the day before when she said she was there for me if I ever needed to chat. Excuse me, you guys. Still have a little residual. Anyway, I know Annie. I could see you were hurt, but damn, Heifer, how did you get so messed up? Judy laughed. Oh, you want to make me feel worse? I kind of laughed as I walked around the duplex to the linen closet to wash off the remnants of my tears. No, but on the real, why did Stephanie have to look so good when I was looking so bad? I sat on the bathroom floor. I waited for Julie to be my friend and tell me something that was going to make me feel better. I waited. Hello, are you there? I spoke into the phone. Girl, she didn't have a hair out of place, Julie said as she started laughing. I had to laugh too. It was true. I love you, Onyx, and I'm going to be as honest as I can ever be because that's us. You are beautiful. Leon, he is on something else right now, and he has to go through it. Believe me, sis, you do not want to take this ride. Let me drink some water. I'm still a little, got a little cold, so bear with me. Um, Julie said, as I could not help but to think she knew something I did not. Am I missing something? I asked Julie. Ani, Leon is into some real things. Keith told me one of his artists saw Leon and Stephanie at a party in Hancock Park, and it was extra. Drugs flowing, women on women, man on man. Is that the kind of life you want to lead? Onyx, if you ask me, he did you a favor. He knew you would not be down for that kind of lifestyle. I think he just did not want to hurt you. He is just being selfish right now. He wants to experience the full Hollywood scene, and Stephanie is the one who was introducing it to him. Keith said he also saw him snorting cocaine before his set backstage last night, almost out in the open as if he didn't care who saw him. Wow, it was like that? This was too much for me to digest. This was not the Leon I knew. Anna, you there? Julie asked me. I was silent for a moment, trying to soak in all this madness. I was angry with Leon and realized this journey was not mine. I hear you, Leon. I know. I hear you, Julie. I was just calling you to say I was not going to be able to make it to the party tonight, but I changed my mind. I'll be there. Girl, now you know I just stood up and crouching tiger hidden dragon stance. I was going to karate chop you through the phone. Julie joked at the notion of being not attending Keith's birthday party. I fell out laughing, picturing Julie in silk pajamas standing like Jet Li. She was crazy. Leon had known Leon and I had known each other for many years. I was always going to love him. It was no way he would be doing the things I heard Julie say. If he was with me. Nevertheless, Julie was right. It was too much for me. We had to laugh. Okay, I will see you tonight, I assured Julie of my attendance. Onyx, yeah, I replied. Now comb your hair, baby, Julie said as she laughed. Hooker, I said as I hung up the phone. Okay, tonight was all about me. Besides Keith, it was his birthday, of course. I walked around the living room floor and turned on the radio. Earth, Wind, and Fire blasted. When you feel down and out, sing a song. It'll make you dance. Excuse me. So appropriate. I love the music and thank God for it. I started to dance to the up-tempo beat. I danced my happy self to the kitchen to fix something to eat. As I looked in the refrigerator, there was nothing edible. I have not had I have not had the time or energy to shop. I probably lost about 5 pounds. That was the only good thing in all this mess. I don't know. I think about how, uh, we always worried about what we eating and everything and how big we gonna be. And I know as I got older, I gained weight, but I'm gonna eat what I want to eat, and I want to do things that make me happy. And I'm not always going to be worried about how much weight I'm putting on, as long as I'm not 200 and something pounds, because that's unhealthy. But people don't have to always worry about losing weight all the time. That's what us women do. We be worrying about, I don't care. Like, I don't care what people say about my physical appearance. Like, sometimes I don't even, a lot of times when I go out of the house, I don't even wear makeup. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like, I put makeup on to come up here, or when I go places, I'll put makeup on. But as far as worrying about my appearance all the time, I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to be dirty or anything like that. I'm take a bath and look neat, but still. Why did I say that? Anyway, I probably lost about 5 pounds. That was the only good thing in all this mess. I got dressed in a hurry. However, I made sure I did my due and effort to redeem myself from the night before. I decided to walk down to the grocery store. I needed the sun. I did not even put on my shades. I wanted to feel every ray as I walked out my front door. I could see the kids starting to get geared up for the day. My neighbor, old man Donald, coming outside in his robe to get his morning paper. Hey, I cheerfully greeted him as I passed him by. As I crossed the street, the sun's rays must have been too bright because I stepped out in front of a car that was turning onto the next street. Beep! I heard the car honk. I was really tripping. Sorry, I waved my hand as I cautiously took refuge on the sidewalk. It was cool at Ralph's. I grabbed a basket and proceeded to put any and everything I found fresh in the basket. They say you are never supposed to go to the grocery store hungry. And that is true. That's so true. I could see why as the cashier gave me the sum. That was equivalent to my rent. Who was I shopping for? I was not used to shopping for one. The cashier started breathing through her nose as I started subtracting things from the list on the receipt after she already rang the food up on the cash register. But hey, was this not her job? I whispered to myself. As I stood in line trying not to make eye contact with the other people behind me, I knew they were pissed at the wait. I was feeling bitter, so they had to feel my pain. You know, you need to be more careful crossing the street, young lady. I looked around to see if the older gentleman in line was speaking to me. I wouldn't want anything to happen to a pretty thing like you. It was the man in the blue car that almost ran over that almost ran over. It was the man in the blue car that I almost ran over crossing the street. I I blushed as I put my hand in my hair. Oh, it's just been one of those days, I replied. The old guy made me smile. I paid the cashier something more suitable and grabbed my cart. Well, believe me, sweetie, bad times never last, the happy man said as he smiled. He had salt and pepper soft hair. I could tell in his day he was something. I hope you are right, I stated as I began to walk away. I did not know that man from Adam and Eve, but just a friendly word from a stranger made me feel things were going to be just fine. The old man winked. I wanted to escape for the rest of the weekend with a good book, Fritos, and bean dip, but time waits for no one. It was time to get ready for the shindig. I drove up to Julie's house. Of course, she had valet parking. She always did things on a grand scale. I gave the gentleman my keys as I walked up the winding stone steps with landscaping so beautiful it could have been my rendition of heaven. Ooh, ooh. Um, my my silver Chanel shoes glided to the door as my black Chanel pinstripe suit made me feel extra sweet as my flowing hair bounced with the wind. I was looking fierce, if I must say so myself. I rang the doorbell once as Julie flew to the door. Okay, now that's the Onyx I know, Julie stated. I hate that I was not going to live my one day of bad luck down. Whatever, Jules. I was not going to let her remind me of my slight embarrassment. Where is the liquor? I looked around for a waiter. As soon as I turned my head to the right, a waiter was handing me a glass of champagne. Now that is what I'm talking about. As I turned and looked at Julie, Julie walked me into the great room where all of the who's sipped Cristal and picked shrimp from the waiter's tray. Great! There was Lenora Ross, who had just ended her tour because her wigs did not arrive from Spain in time. Gregory Motif sat at the end of the bar, staring at the top shelf that he could not drink because of a court order sentence for driving under the influence. I guess the smell was not going to hurt him. Sean Lovely, the biggest selling rapper of all times, stood in the middle of the room. Sorry, guys. That's my beautiful cousin, saying that she hopes we feel better because we won't be going to the party. So I'm just going to text her. Thanks. Love you. Happy New Year. Okay, where was I? Sorry. Sorry for the interruption. Um, okay. John Lovely, the biggest selling rapper of all times, stood in the middle of the room seemingly talking to himself, but if you took a closer look, he had a Bluetooth to his ear. This was my scene, and frankly, I was getting tired of it. I turned to walk out of the great room. Slam! I turned right into a gentleman that seemed so familiar to me. Oh, I am sorry, I said as I looked down, glad that I did not spill my drink. Well, you still have a bad day, young lady. Well, you still having a bad day, young lady? I looked into the eyes of the older gentleman that drove the blue car to the grocery store. How many times must I embarrass myself as I looked up to the crown molding? Oh, honey, if this is the worst that it gets for you, you're doing fine, the gentleman added. I guess it was meant for me to meet this man. I kept bumping into him. Hi, I am Onyx. I introduced myself as I extended my hand to shake his. Oh, Cherie. The man grabbed my hand as if we were in Paris and took what was supposed to be a handshake into a slobber fest on my fingertips. Cleveland Boucher Sr., he uttered. Before I could even acknowledge his presence, a voice shouted from the crowd, "Put that young lady's hand down, you old geezer." A little lady with gray hair walked towards us with jewelry fit for a queen. Oh, Ginger, I cannot ever have any fun with you around. Cleveland laughed as he dropped my hand and grabbed hers. Hell, honey, sorry for the pervert over here. Ginger extended her hand. And you are? She asked. I am Onyx Decopia, I said as I shook her hand. Onyx, one of my favorite jewels. Ginger smiled as she gave me the same wink her husband did earlier in the day. I stood there and glanced at this couple. I could see there were many years in their past. Not only were they lovers, but it seemed like they had an understanding. I am who I am, and you are who you are. Oh, I see you've already met the Bouchers. Julie glided back over in her red gown. What in the heck is Julie looking at me with that stupid grin on her face? I noticed and was very uncomfortable. This is her. Ginger looked at Cleveland and started to laugh. Okay, if I were not looking the way that I was, I would think I was transported back to the concert yesterday. I looked at Julie. Oh, my leg's starting to hurt. This is a long chapter. I looked at Julie. What's so funny? Before Julie could open her mouth, before Julie could open her mouth, Mom and Dad, are you bothering folks again? If my tongue could unwind all the way down to my knees, I think I would have to catch it. I felt I was in a Tom and Jerry cartoon. This is why I told you to comb your hair. Shut your mouth, Julie whispered in my ear. Cleveland, this is a good friend of mine, Onyx Decopia, Cleveland Sr. and Julie said in unison. Ginger grabbed her son's hand and fixed his tie. Hello, nice to meet you. Cleveland Jr. kissed my hand, just like his father, but without all the spit. Mr. and Mrs. Boucher, did you meet the Hendersons from Connecticut? Julie coaxed the couple off into the crowd, while Cleveland Jr. and I stood face to face. Would you like another drink? Cleveland asked. I stared at this man's lips, and for the life of me, I wanted to kiss them. So perfect. His face had cheekbones so distinct, and his skin was as smooth as a baby's butt. Although he had a mustache, the hairs were soft, as if we kissed, it would not sting my lips. He wore a tailor made black suit with a pink shirt that, if on another man, I would think a little indifferent. But he looked nice with his tall frame, healthy muscles that rippled through his clothing. So I will take this as a no. Cleveland interrupts my thoughts. I'm sorry, what did you say? Cleveland snatched his head and looked at me kind of cross eyed. Would you like another drink? Oh, sure, I replied. Sorry, you guys. Um, would you like another drink? Oh, sure, I replied. Follow me, Miss Onyx, Cleveland said as he gently placed his hand on my back, leading me gently to the next available tray of champagne. Here we go, as Cleveland grabbed two glasses and handed me one. So you are the famous Onyx Julie has been telling me so much about. How do you know Julie? I inquired. I do business with Keith. I am an entertainment lawyer. Also, I almost choked, finally understanding that this was a setup. I see. I sat down on an ottoman nearby. I hear you're the best A&R director at Us Records. Cleveland continued to make conversation. I'm okay, I guess. I took another sip of my champagne. Would you like to hear something ironic? I looked into Cleveland's brown eyes as he spoke. Why not? I said. My father called me on my cell today and told me about a special young lady he met at the grocery store. He told me she was about my age and was as cute as a button. He said all in his years he never perked up so much since the first time he saw my mother. He said it was a sign I was going to meet someone special soon. Really? I replied as Cleveland seemed to be pleased with himself at the notion that someone special was I. Well, you want to know something a bit more ironic? I asked Cleveland. Yes, he replied as he looked into my eyes. And of course, I looked away. I had a feeling I was cheating on Leon. I know we were not together, but he was the last person that gave me butterflies. I am the girl your father met in the grocery store today, I said, pleased with myself. Get out of here! Cleveland brushed it off as if I were flirting. Your father drives a blue car, and he almost ran me over, I said as I put my glass down. That was you? Cleveland looked at me without the smile. Yep, I said with the smile, found that he lost. His notion was confirmed, I thought. So that was chapter 3, and believe me, it's getting juicy. Now, people people think, that this book is just about relationships or whatever like that. It's more than that. This book is deep. It goes deeper than that. I mean, it really is going to surprise you. You just got to hang in there with me. It's getting good. So anyway, I wonder how you like the characters. Do you like Julie and Onyx relationship? I really like their relationship. I really like Julie's personality. And I don't know. I just feel like when you are in a relationship for a long time and you break up with the person and you meet somebody new, it's like that person could be the rebound person because you're not really finished. But those are just residuals of something that's over, you know, and you bringing it into your future. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad you guys, whoever is reading this along with me, my subscribers, thank you for subscribing and, interact with me. Leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking so far. But anyway, I want you to have a happy new year and enjoy yourself tonight as we go out of 2025 to 2026. Anyway, all right. Have a good new year and a good night. Bye.